Junkyard Junkie, back here with another video. Do you have a 2020 or newer Kia Soul up to present and want to know how to replace the rear rotors and brake pads? Well, this video is for you. Now, I have already done the front side. You can see a card right up there at the top right. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is go ahead and lift it up and secure it on a jack stand. Just for safety, you may want to throw the wheel underneath. Now, you need a 21 millimeter. We're going to use an impact, but you could use a breaker bar. Now, when working with new model cars especially, you want to make sure that they don't have an electronic parking brake that you need to disable via a scan tool. There's another way to do it. I can show you a workaround, but on this vehicle, it doesn't need it. One quick way to kind of tell, recommend doing more research, but the quickest way is usually see what all's connected to it. So we got a brake line and we have our regular emergency cable, but other than that, we don't have any electronics coming here. So we're good to go on this one. This model does not have one. Okay, so first thing we want to do is go ahead, get a 14 millimeter wrench, break that thing loose. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and take out this top 14 millimeter. There we go, now we got access to it. So if we take a look at the piston here, you see those little notches right there? There's a special tool for that we can use. Now if you want, you can get some needle nose pliers and do it that way, but usually that's just a lot of extra work when you can buy a $15 tool and you'll probably still use it. As you can see here, it'll go right in there, it'll fit. It'll bite into each one of these little corner pieces. We just get a ratchet and you're just going to rotate it in. A little trick here is to go ahead and take the cap off of the brake reservoir. That usually will help it go in. I'm gonna go ahead and go all the way in with this and then we'll be back. Okay, so now then, just to remove the brakes, they have these little anti-rattle clips. Hang on to it because sometimes new hardware doesn't have it. It doesn't always need it either, but we're gonna hold on to them just in case. Then you should be able to pull them right out or get a little flat blade and just work them out. We still had some life, but it was getting low. Okay, so next up, we do need to take this bracket off. There's one bolt there and one right there. Thank you, Kia, for making this pretty easy here. These are 14 millimeters as well. There's one. Okay, so at this point we need a impact driver and knock out these two screws. Don't just try to use a regular Phillips head. They're always pretty much stuck in there and you'll round them off pretty easy. Then if you do, just drill out the head and it'll come out. Okay, as you can see, got one there, one there. I typically put them back in, but you can always get rid of them. People are opinionated on that. But you just need a little impact like this. If you got an impact gun, you can use that as well. So we got a Phillips 3 head. Oh, that one's already loose. I hit it some with the Phillips 2 before I switched it to the Phillips 3. That's why it's loose. So you just run it out after that. Once it breaks loose, you're good. Like I said, a lot of people say throw them away. Me personally, I like to at least put one back in. That way it holds the rotor on. But you can do as you like. Take the other one, break it loose. We are almost done with this job. So, see if it'll come off. If it doesn't like this, my trick is to put two nuts on here just to be extra cautious. I'm not going to today. You're going to hit in between this face. If you hit this, you're going to damage it and you're going to be, you know, pretty upset. So, you know, make sure you put those little lug nuts back on. There you go, it's already loose. There we go. So one thing you always want to do anytime you change out rotors, they always ship it with a rusting film on there. You want to go ahead and take the brake clean. Usually they even include brake clean. And we put the rotor on backwards. We're going to do the back side first. We'll flip it around and we'll do the other side. Also be careful when doing this, because if you get a good whiff, you'll be feeling like this. Okay, so after that, literally all you gotta do is go ahead and get your screw. We're gonna put it back in. It'll hold the rotor flush. Another thing you can do is take your lug nut, run it down. That's another good method if they don't have these. But you just take it and you're not gonna get it tight. This literally is just to hold it. It doesn't do anything. You don't want trouble coming out next time, so see, it stops right there. I'm done. Okay, so next up, we do want to go ahead and put our bracket back on. It's a good idea to go ahead and take a wire brush, clean those out. I'll do those in a minute. And it takes the longer bolts with the lock nut. This part's pretty easy. You just literally stick it in, line it up. Don't ever run any bolts in on anything really until you get both of them or all of them started, depending on how many they have. Like, that's just a good rule of thumb for everything. You can also take a napkin and go around it as well with that brake clean, just to make sure you got everything. If you want to go that extra mile, it's really not necessary. Go ahead and tighten these up. I'm just going to snug them up for now. I'll put the torque on the screen. That way you don't have to worry about that. Make sure to torque everything down properly. Okay, so you want to take your new hardware, line up the grooves. As you can see, it just fits in, push down. Make sure it's not touching that rotor. Then you'll just take your top one here, do the same thing, line it up, push it in. Give it a visual inspection. Make sure that those are not touching the rotor. Next up, you want to get your new brake pads. Now they do have to go the right way with it. Like, it's got a curvature, so just follow the curvature. The one with the squeaker, you do want to go ahead and put on the back side back here. You always put it on the inboard side, and this is the outboard side. So we put this in here, line it up. There we go. There we go. These also have those holes for those springs, so I'm glad we didn't throw them away, because I don't think they gave us new ones. In fact, they did not. And all these do, it's actually pretty cheap if you're wondering what they do, because I know a lot of people do. All they do is keep tension off of the rotor, so that way they don't, you know, sit there and stick to the rotor and eat up faster. Just stick one in, bend it, put the other one in. Both sides are in, you're good to go. Now, anytime you're doing a brake or rotor job, it's a very good idea to go ahead and remove these slide pins. What I use is this 3M silicone paste. And to get these out, all you gotta do is hold the rubber, just kind of work it out like that. We're going to clean that off with a napkin, and then we will reapply. What I like about this one is the top is actually an applicator. So we're just going to go ahead and give it a pretty light coat. You want to make sure that it is on there, but you don't got to go crazy with it. Now all you do, stick that bad boy right back in. Make sure the boot reconnects, and it does. We're good to go. Now we're going to do that for the other one. So once you got both those applied, you can sit here and rock them back and forth. Make sure they do slide easily. That's what you want out of those. That will prevent uneven brake wear and issues down the road. Okay, so now we'll get our caliper after you've pushed that piston back in. Just going to slide it up there. If these are sticking out, you can just pull them in. Now we get a bolt and we'll be good. Get that other one in there. Run them by hand all the way down. Once again, I will throw up on screen the torque specs. After that, we can put the wheel back on, and that's where that little screw is so handy, so you don't have to fight with the rotor. I know you can use a lug nut, but I'm still a big fan of those little screws. I like to get two started and then go ahead and run them in. Now remember, you need to torque these on the ground. We're just snugging them up right now. Always start them by hand as well, or else you run the risk of cross-threading them. Once again, putting you in a really bad spot. Now we can go ahead and drop the vehicle, torque it down, and that's all there is to it. If you're finding this video helpful, don't forget to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you.